What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Welcome back, fight fans. Can Hector Garcia beat Gervonta Tank Davis? Shit, well, I guess we'll find out, right? So, Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia is set for Saturday, January 7th. First of all, going into this fight, Gervonta Tank Davis has to get through Hector Garcia to face Ryan Garcia, which is a fight that all the fans want, all of boxing. So Hector has really good boxing, but what helps him the most, what I've seen, is his endurance and the pace at which he fights these fighters, right? He tends to overwhelm them. He tends to overwhelm his opponents. He does have okay power, but it seems like he seems like a man with a lot of heart, and it's gonna take Gervonta Tank Davis a lot to get him out of there. He is, if I'm not mistaken, Dominican, from Dominican Republic. I'm not sure about that, but he does have okay power. Hector Garcia is 16-0 with 10 knockouts, and his last two performances being his biggest of his life. His biggest victory is against Roger Gutierrez, which he won by unanimous decision, and he won the WBA Super Featherweight Championship belt. But before that, he went in as a late replacement against Colbert, which he got an upset by unanimous decision. He's a very smart fighter. He changes his punches up and downstairs, so he's not always giving you the same punches. He has good counters. I mean, going into this fight, he really has nothing to lose, which will, he'll give it his all. He has nothing to lose, everything to gain. He for sure is gonna give it his all, and will make it a tough fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. What I don't like about him, or what I've seen against his most recent fights, is that he does stand to get comfortable with his maybe he gets too comfortable with his opponent's power, and he stays too long in the pocket, and that's something you cannot do with Tank Davis. Tank Davis I think he has the best power punch in that weight division, so he cannot do that against Tank Davis for sure. He doesn't have as much head movement also. He kind of stays in there, he kind of rolls with it. He kind of has like a Philly shell. He is a southpaw fighter, so Gervonta Tank Davis is a southpaw also, so it's going to be a southpaw against a southpaw, which is always a great matchup to see. I honestly don't think he might not have the power to keep Gervonta Tank Davis off of him, because with a fighter like Canelo, with a fighter like Gervonta Tank Davis that have so much power and that always come forward, you need some power to keep them back, or to even like make them hesitate. Once they see that you can't hurt them, it's just like over. They come forward and they just finish you. I think that he will have to outbox Tank Davis, which is going to be very difficult, because we've seen that Gervonta Tank Davis can box. He is a great boxer himself, so it's going to be hard to outbox a boxer, right? And Tank has power, so Tank's a scary individual. He's a great boxer. Everybody does have a puncher's chance, right? You can't go in there. Well, Tank Davis can't go in there thinking that he's gonna get this guy out of there or anything like that, because every fight is at this level is a tough fight. These guys are at this level for a reason. He can't let Tank set in his rhythm. If Tank starts setting in his rhythm, it's gonna be a long night for Hector Garcia. He has to win rounds by outlanding Tank, and he has to make it seem to the judges like Tank is fighting at his pace, that he's setting the tone, that he's controlling the ring generalship, and he has to make Tank look bad, just like how Isaac Cruz made him look bad. He has to do that, but with more. I think it's gonna be a great fight. Hector Garcia is a huge underdog, and you really can't underestimate him, because he is an undefeated fighter. He's coming off of two crazy upsets, and this guy can box, this guy can fight. So I know Tank Davis is the type of fighter that doesn't look ahead of his opponents, but anything can happen. This is the sport of boxing. We've seen a lot of great upsets, and this man has done a couple of them. I think it's gonna be a great fight. Tank has to get through Hector to fight Ryan Garcia, which is the fight that we all want, right? But in reality, I think Tank will get the job done. Maybe a late stoppage, maybe round 8 or 9. If he loses though, which is always a possibility, this would be the upset of the year, I think, and will ruin the plans for Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis, but I highly doubt it. My prediction is Tank round 8 or 9 TKO. But you know, let's all hope for a good fight. Let's all hope these men come down, because it's the hardest sport in the world. Safe and sound to their family, and you know, let's enjoy a great night of boxing Saturday, just January 7th. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.